Carlos.
And I'm Brian.
And this is a fancy edition of Industry News.
Quite. With speculation starting a little over 7 years ago, on September 23rd, 2014, Blizzard officially announced they'll be canceling any further development on the next generation MMO project called Titan. The last we ever heard about the project was last year when Blizzard had announced the developer was going to go back to the drawing board in order to reevaluate the project. Throughout a recent interview between Polygon and CEO Mike Morhaime, it was highly suggested the recent trend of smaller scale Blizzard releases like Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm played a huge part in canceling the project. But don't worry, with the approach to the new World of Warcraft expansion, Warlords of Draenor, coming out later this year in November, we will be able to satisfy that MMO craving we all have real soon.
Microsoft has delayed the Chinese release of the Xbox One. The console was slated to release this past Tuesday, the 23rd. This has since been repealed in a recent statement from Microsoft, saying it would be out by the end of this year. The general manager of Xbox's Chinese division promised that those who pre-ordered the console would still be receiving it first, along with an added bonus. Xbox's overseas travels have been made possible thanks to a change in China's laws this past spring. The change now allows for video game consoles to be sold by foreign firms, an act that hasn't happened for 14 years. After the lackluster launch of the Xbox One in Japan, maybe Microsoft felt they needed a little more time to polish their next big send-off.
4chan strikes again. With the recent release of the iOS 8 for the iPhone, pranksters over at 4chan were quick to hop on the opportunity to release a new but fake-looking Apple-branded advert called The Wave. It claimed that owners of the new operating system could charge their phone by placing the device in their microwave and microwaving it for about a minute and a half. Now, you're probably thinking, who'll be dumb enough to fall for a prank like this, right? Well, think again. It's gotten so bad to the point that it even grabbed attention to the LAPD, and they were forced to make an official statement on their Twitter feed warning people not to microwave their phones. Seriously? Well, this wouldn't be the first time 4chan has duped us before, as they were able to convince a couple people last year that the operating system for the iPhone 5s somehow made your phones waterproof. Guess that just shows us that moral of the story is that you can't believe in everything you see online. But do watch out for the next update when we'll finally be able to summon unicorns with our phones.
Nintendo America has announced a US Smash tournament in conjunction with the game's launch. Beginning October 4th, 16 GameStops across the country will be hosting local tournaments, culminating in a national finale on October 11th. Each local tournament will begin with 64 players, but this number will be dwindled to 1 through free-for-all, 4-player matches with items turned on. These winners will attend a national tournament, which will focus on your standard 1v1 battles, only allowing Smash Balls in the initial round of 16. Thankfully, Texas has 2 locations that will be hosting these local tournaments, Houston and Plano, Texas. Beware though, they're first come first serve, and only 64 participants will be allowed to enter. Plan on making that 3 to 4 hour trip to either city pretty early so you can be first in line.
Rejoice! After months of testing, Steam Music finally exited its beta phase on September 24, 2014. With the new Steam client update that most of us should have received by now, it promises users with a fully grown application that enables us to listen to our favorite video game scores while we play other games. In order to celebrate the occasion, Valve is offering soundtracks of many of its most popular games like Portal and Half-Life for free, while the actual games themselves will be discounted for 75% off until October 1st. Another benefit to using the Steam Music app is any Steam soundtrack you have purchased in the past will automatically be kept in your cloud and added to your Steam Music library, along with the special extended scores for their favorite games being added as a bonus.
Sony Computer Entertainment's Worldwide Studios president Shuhei Yoshida has announced that their virtual reality headset, Project Morpheus, is done. Kinda. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, the Sony exec said that the device is 85% done and that its price would hopefully be kept down by the cell phone technology they're using to make the device. Sadly, this was the bulk of what Yoshida said about Morpheus, saving details until Morpheus is more complete. The headset was announced this past March at the Game Developers Conference, but it has been in development for 3 years. At the conference, attendees got to use the headset, gaining it some support amidst a budding market of virtual reality hardware. Oculus Rift, another virtual reality hardware venture, was recently bought by Facebook Incorporated. Expect to see Morpheus and Oculus budding headsets in the months to come. It is hot in here.
Dude.
All right, that is it from us. We're gone.
Swag.
Back to you guys.